another topic related to app ID is Policy Optimizer. By the way, in Palo Alto Firewall, Policy Optimizer can be used for different purpose. If I go to my firewall and click on the policy, down there you will see Policy Optimizer. So you can see here is a lot of things. New app viewer, there is policy, a rule without app control, and there is unused application, and there is unused application and 30 days, 90 days, and unused. Okay, so it can provide you a lot of information. Okay, but mainly and related to app ID, we can use Policy Optimizer to migrate your legacy or port based security policy rule to app ID rule. In this case, suppose if I go to my firewall and if I click on the security, so we have created a security LAN to DMZ. If I click on the LAN to DMZ, so my source is LAN and my destination is DMZ. However, I did not mention any application, which application from here to DMZ they can access. Okay, so I did not mention anything. And the services, I did not mention any means any services, and the action is allow. Now I want, this is just the I allowed, by the way, everything. So if I want to optimize, okay, suppose maybe I allowed the services such as HTTPS, and I allowed HTTP, and maybe I allowed FTP. Okay, so I allowed only the port base, or maybe I allowed nothing. So how I can use this Policy Optimizer to convert this port base to to app base rule. So I can check from here. It will say that LAN to DMZ, this is the name of the rule, and these are the services which are using, means the port base. And here they will say the application scene. So it will show you here that rather than to use this service HTTP and HTTPS, we saw this one web browsing, which is application. Alternative of HTTP, the application is web browsing, the application is. Rather than to use a port 80, so we can use a web browsing. So you can simply click here and you can create a clone rule. If you are not sure, maybe tomorrow there is another thing they can access. Okay, so what you can do, you can create a clone rule and add this application, or you can add this to the existing one which we have, and it will convert this port base to application base easily. Okay, and just in one click. However, in real world, we follow a steps. This Policy Optimizer, we can clean a clone of existing port base, or we can add them directly. Why we need this one? Because maybe it using a non-standard port, and we are using port which malicious traffic can come anytime, potentially, and unwanted traffic can come on that port. So rather than to use a port based rule, we need to change them to app based rule. Now what is the procedure in real world we follow is the phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Phase 1, identify the legacy port based rule which we have, and Policy Optimizer can help you. Like they show us 3 policy which are using the port base. Okay, either the legacy port base rule. Second, add application base rule above the corresponding port base rule. Phase 2, we need to create identical and clone but application base rule on the top of that rule. And finally, we need to watch them for a while, for a week, for a days, for 2 days. And when there is no hit coming on the port base rule, we can remove the port base, and this way we can use the application base. So in phase 1, you need to identify which existing legacy port based security policy rule is used and how to convert them. So in our case, Policy Optimizer can help you. They say there is 3 rules: LAN to internet, DMZ to internet, and LAN to DMZ. These application, okay. So these application, we can click here, application scene on this one, 46 application. So you can create a clone. Okay, here is create a clone above this one, and either you can create manual, either use this Policy Optimizer. and keep both. Okay, give them a name, suppose LAN to internet app base, and create a top of this one. Okay, you can go to security, LAN to internet. So LAN to internet is on number 4. You can create a policy top of this here on number 3rd and give them a name, LAN to internet, and make sure to reset the rule after that, only for selected one. So there is no head right now. Okay, so when the new head coming, it will head the application base one, and watch for days or week or whatever is depend. And if there is this hit is not increasing, it means this rule is never hit anymore, and you can simply disable them, you can delete them, whatever you like as per your company policy. However, the phase 1 is to identify the existing legacy base and the port base rule. Now coming to phase 2, okay, you see the security policy optimizer tool. You can use that policy optimizer tool. Okay, and you need to create what is called the app base a rule above the corresponding port base rule, and this way we can watch. And the third phase, which is the final phase, the cleanup of the security policy. You need to review the traffic log and security policy rule hits all the time and check them, that if there is no hit coming on the port base, because you create a new rule the same matching but application base on the top, so it will hit that one. And after that you can safely remove or you can disable them for a while, keep them disabled. If nobody complain, it means there is no need of that one. Now you convert the port base and exit the what is called the simple and the legacy port based security rule to app base. Okay, so this is the way, and these are the 3 steps you need to follow.